everybody, welcome back. All right, so now it's time. So we've gotten all of our stuff in for the month. Now it's time to look at what March brought us and what we're going to use and what we're not going to use. All right, so we're going to start with this. We're going to start with the small one. We're going to start with the Grim Workshop. Now, as with pretty much all the Grim Workshops, definitely going to keep the information. There's no reason not to keep the Grim Workshop stuff at all. We do have this Temujin Tan survival card, as well as we do have our lures for fishing. So we got fish hooks, we got fish lures. So they work well together. Absolutely no reason they take up such little room, and we have our information as well. So of course, as always, the Grim Workshop definitely going to be part of our survival kit for the end of the year. All right, so moving on, we're going to get over to our gear pack. Now our gear pack was pretty good. This was the Adventure Ready. The first thing we had was our paracord lanyard. It's paracord. I mean, yeah, I know we always say that, you know, more cordage is good, but really, I'd rather just, we have a spool of paracord already in there that's actually glow in the dark. So this to me was just useless filler that doesn't really serve a purpose. So we're not going to be including this in our survival kit, even though it is cordage, just because I don't know. Maybe I don't know what. Maybe I'll include that. We'll think about that over the course of the year. But as of right now, no. Next up in our gear pack, we did have our fire changing color stuff. We're not keeping that. That's these may not seem too heavy individually, but this is just useless weight that doesn't serve a valuable purpose in the overall survival realm. So we're not keeping that. Next up, we do. Okay, now here we go. Now we're starting to get into some stuff. We have a tick key. Now ticks are horrible, vile creatures that should all be destroyed. I don't know if they serve any purpose whatsoever. So the tick key, we're going to keep that. That is a good first aid item. You do not want to get a tick on you and get sick. So we're definitely keeping the Mossy Oak tick key. That's something that can come in very handy in a survival situation. All right, moving on, we do have the Valadeo Purple. Now, I do like these. I think I've already lost this knife anyway. But, yeah, I have the turquoise. Now I have the purple. Same knife. I'm not going to include this, but if this is what you had, this is a good knife, though. So I'm not going to, it's just that, you know, I already have one. I'm not going to keep this one. So, all right, moving up, we do have and actually this one here, right? Because I haven't actually gotten a decent compass for our survival kit. So we did get the Explorer base plate compass. This is going to go into our survival kit because we do need a decent compass, and this is a pretty good compass. So we're definitely hanging on to that. All right, next up we're going into the Basic Plus, and we did get the CRKT Testy. Now this is a nice knife. I do like it, but again, I'm not going to include this in our survival kit. This is a good knife. It doesn't weigh much. It has a very good edge. It feels nice in the hand, but it's just not a knife that we're going to keep in our survival kit. It's a good knife, but not for us. All right, moving on. We do have the CRKT Eaton tool, and you know we got one in a couple months ago. We got one also from Gear Pack, but we're gonna keep it. You know, if there's more than one of you eating, not bad to have. So, and it doesn't take a mushroom, so we're gonna keep that. And then last, we did get the Gerber Compact Clear Path. Now this is something that, of course, yes, we're gonna hang on to this. This is a very nice, beefy machete that we can use for almost any camp task that we have to in a survival situation. We can process larger wood with this. It does have a very aggressive sawback, and you're definitely gonna be able to clear. You know, we can, you know, clear away bushes. We can, you know, it has an edge, and there's just no reason not to include a larger. We might not get an axe this year in what we're getting. So this is the next best thing. So we're definitely including our Gerber Clear Cut Compact Clear Path. That is definitely something we're going to keep. All right, now moving on. We're moving on to our Trailblazer or our SHTF box. And let's see here. The first item we got in that was our SOA survival knife with hollow handle and sheath. And for the price, the $9.99 price, this is not a bad knife, but it's not one that we're going to include in our survival kit. I like it. It does need an edge put on it. It's not a bad knife per se, but it's just, you know, if I have to choose between the two, I'm going with the Gerber. So where that one's just going to be set off to the side there. All right. Next up, we do have the Firestarter necklace, and I'm going to include it, but I'm not going to include this one because I have one already. This one we're going to keep sealed up. That's going to be, you know, we're going to save this for a future giveaway. All right. So, but we will be including it. Just we're going to be using the one we already have that we got last year or 2 years ago, whatever it was. All right. Moving on, we do have the gloves, and they're definitely going in because you got to keep your hands safe. And I know that we haven't gotten any gloves out this year, so that's going to be very good. Leather gloves to keep your hands safe in a survival situation, very important. All right, next up we do have the lockpick set, and whereas I am tempted to put this in there, and it does not take up much room. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think that at this point in time, I don't think that I'm actually going to include it in. I may at a later date, but as of right now, I don't think that we're going to include our first aid kit picks. One, I don't know how to use them yet, and so even though it takes up virtually no room, it's right now it doesn't really serve a good function. So we're not going to be including the lock picks at this point in time. So then the last thing we do have is the steel mug, and yeah, I mean we do, you know, last month we did get the we got the stainless steel bowl from a Pocket Box. We're gonna put this, and now we have a cup and we have a bowl. So we've got stuff to eat with, stuff to cook in, stuff to drink with. So we're getting like a whole cook set together. So that's pretty good in this survival situation. All right, then of course we do have our DIY camp stool. We're gonna keep it because if you are, you know, you need to sit down, better to sit down nicely. And then, last but not least, we did get the Heritage waterproof brass match case. We're definitely gonna keep it. We'll put some waterproof matches in there. This might even be large enough to hold storm matches. I'm not real sure, but we're gonna load this up with some matches, and we're definitely gonna hang on to that. All right, so that's all going in the kit. All right, so that's our mystery SHTF box. Now, of course, the last items that we did get is our monster bass and our mystery tackle box. And a lot of this stuff we'd still keep because, you know, we are building a fishing kit. But at this point in time, we're actually gonna I think I'm gonna do a separate video with just the fishing items. And then that way we can actually go through the fishing items as a whole and not just like a month by month, so we can actually build ourselves a decent fishing kit to go into our survival kit. And, you know, that way, you know, so that way we've got, so far this year, we've gotten water purification, we've got fire starting, we've gotten containers, we've gotten plenty of cutting tools, we've got safety, we've got being able to sit down, we've gotten a hammock, we've got an inflatable pillow. So right now, 3 months into the year, and we've actually got a lot that we're going to be able to use to build a very good survival kit. So, all right, man, that's it. If this is your first time the channel, please consider subscribing. Hit that thumbs up button for me. Leave me a comment, good, bad, or indifferent. Doesn't matter. It helps the algorithm. I do appreciate it. I am trying to get back to everybody. And we have a great day and keep prepping.